Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in the last one, I updated the world into vibrant visuals and I showed you all kind of a tour of that. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks so good. And well, you could see by the thumbnail, I had to do some updating to the world based off of the vibrant visuals. But we'll get into that here in a second. But the main thing that I was working on and building was this little structure right here, and I did the interior of it, and I am so excited about it. I really love it. I think it's a pretty unique build, and something that I've not really seen too much of in Minecraft. So I'm really excited to show you all kind of what I did with it. Not much on the outside's changed. I've still got my temporary boxes here, and I did not work on this, but I'll tell you why I didn't work on that here in a little bit. But let's go ahead in through the entrance. Here we go, the gym. So this is a gym in Minecraft inside of like this medieval looking building, which I think is so funny. So let's go in here. It's a pretty funny and interesting build, I must say. So this is like the little lobby area. We got some nice bushes and stuff to hang out, but we got a lot of rules here. So the member pricing. Regular members is $30, the elderly $15, children $10, evil $45. So you gotta pay more if you're evil. Nobility $5, red flag $60. We're in Slayers Guild territory, so of course the red flag will pay more. Slayers Guild $0. There you go. Government, well, we don't know that yet. Negotiable, I suppose. Ugly $35, slightly more than regular. Diseased $40. Wizards are $60. Which, you know, you don't want wizards in here. And loud talkers are $45. So if you're a loud talker, you have to pay more. So it's pretty harsh for the membership here for this gym. But let's go on into it. So, of course, I had trouble somewhat finding, Minecraft doesn't exactly lend itself too well to building gym equipment, but I think I did well with it. So let's start out here. This is kind of like the outdoor area, and I have some treadmills. So like these are like the nice treadmills that have like the little screen on it and stuff. Like look at this. I think it looks so nice, and so they can just watch all the people walk by while they're on the treadmill. I think it turned out super nice for Minecraft, that is. And we've got more treadmills over here, and these ones actually have like the screens up here. I think nowadays in gyms like they have like video games like where you can race each other. So that's pretty funny, but we got some treadmills, some of those. Over here we have like the stair step machine. So like this is like all the cardio stuff down here on this floor. So you got the stair step machine. And then over here, I love this. So this is like a row machine. So like if you've ever been to a gym and seen that, it's like there's like a cable that's stored up in like this box, and then you just pull it out here, which I think looks super good. The chain works great as a cable, and this looks just like a row machine box. So they're kind of round like that. So that's the first floor here. And then this is just the entrance out here. Nothing much going on here. This is just to relax and look out. By the way, the river looks so good with the vibrant visuals. I really do love it. If you haven't seen the tour of the world and the vibrant visuals, make sure you check that out. I uploaded that last week. But let's go on up to the next floor. So as you go up, it gets a little more hardcore, which we'll just we'll go by that real quick. But the gym rules: no dying. Yeah, you don't want to be dying at the gym. No spotters. That's a pretty intense one. So you got to lift your own weight. No hollering. Only yelling. That makes sense. You don't want anyone up in here hollering at the gym. Yelling's okay though. Be kind with a heart. Clean up your own blood. Interesting. Get big. No magic, and try to limit evil. Well, that's a reasonable thing to say. Try to limit evil. That makes sense. So these are the rules. I mean, a little harsh, but understandable. So let's go over here. So this is like the actual weightlifting area, and it looks like a colossal mess, but I'll explain what all this is. So this is like the bench press over here. You got your bench you lay on, and then you got the bar here, and these coal blocks are supposed to emulate like plates, like 45-pound plates. I could have used chains for like the bar, but it didn't attach to like the rack here, so I don't know. I just like the iron bars for it. They work. Just use your imagination. This is like a bigger bench press, so like we got a lot of weight on here. And then this is like the storage for the weights. So like if you've been in a gym, they have like these little racks that you can put the plates on. So that's what this is. It's like a pyramid. And then we have another really big bench press, and there's some blood over here. So this guy was obviously struggling with this bench press. And then we've got the deadlift. Someone looks like they died at the deadlift here, so that's pretty funny. So yeah, make sure you clean up your own blood at this gym. Just some storage stuff. We go back over here, so got a little bit of storage, but we got the gym records, the bench press, 750 pounds. That is intense. But if you remember the Nether prison, they also had a gym, and the records there are a little bit more. So that's pretty interesting. Squat, not available. Yeah, we don't do legs in this gym. No legs. That's right. So no squat record. Deadlift, 1,010 pounds. That is a ton. Curls, 340 pounds, which is crazy. Oh yeah, speaking of that's what these are in the middle. They don't look like it, but this is like a dumbbell rack. Doesn't look like it at all, but just use your imagination. That's what that is. Frowning 6 days. Yeah, we tracked that. Someone frowned for 6 days straight here. Amazing. And then hay bale tossing, 125 feet, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. Also, got these little like peepholes out here. You can look into the street, which is pretty funny. So let's go into the next room. So, oh no, what's this? So we got like a little drink area. We got your creatine. You can get, it's like a vending machine area. You can get your creatine here. You can get your trenbolone, which is hilarious that they would have this just out there. But, you know, it happens. Water, question mark. It might be water. And then you've got your pre-workout, which is called Hulk urine. I mean... Oh goodness! I hope that this is funny to you all, because I absolutely died with laughter making this. I'm not like, I thought this was so funny. I do attend a gym, and I find all of this stuff so funny. But Hulk urine. I used to work out when I was younger, and they had this like bottle of like stuff that someone made. It was like a jug, and it was green, and they didn't call it Hulk urine, they called it something else, but this is close enough. And we used to drink that stuff, and it would make you like shake and like twitch and stuff, but it would work. You would definitely lift a lot more. So there's a tribute to that. But if we continue on down here, we've got the pool. Yeah, look at here, we got a pool. But the problem is with this pool, there's like, you can't breathe. You have to like go down the steps into this pool, but you can actually walk over here. But something funny about this is like, this is the other entrance to the outside, so you can just like walk straight into the pool as like an entrance into the gym. So there's that. Pretty funny. But we can keep going up here. There's more floors to this, so let's go on up here. So we make our way all the way to the top floor, and we have the hay bale toss. So you can throw it all the way to the end of this hall here, and someone got it pretty far. That must be the record. So pretty funny that you would have a hay bale toss in the gym, just a big stack of hay bales. If you can't tell, I'm from a country area, and we do things like hay bale tossing. So we don't have that at the gym that I go to, but you know, just thought I would add it. Then we got the bathroom up in here, just a standard bathroom. We got the toilets and stuff over here. You know, nothing too special. Trash can, sink, and everything. And up here, the final floor, we have this big mirror room, so you can go up here and flex. These are obviously glass panes, but just pretend that they're mirrors. And you can go up here and flex. We got a nice posing light, so you can really accentuate those muscles. So yeah, that's the gym. Hopefully you all found that pretty interesting. We're going to go up to the next area now that I did. But yeah, hopefully you all found that pretty funny and interesting. I really enjoyed making that gym, and I think it's pretty unique. I've not really seen too many gyms in Minecraft. Whoa, look at the lights here. Wow, that looks so good with the vibrant visuals. But speaking of vibrant visuals, if you remember in the tour, I mentioned that the cobblestone texture got ruined, so like you can't see any detail on the cathedral over here, which is so annoying. And so I've took it upon myself to update all the builds. And the first one I did was the castle keep up here, and I updated all of the cobblestone, like here, to deep slate cobblestone. So now you can actually see it. It looks good. It really does look good. It looks definitely better than it did. I'm not super crazy about it. I definitely liked the original cobblestone on it better. But you know what? It is what it is, and sometimes you have to just deal with it because, this is what happened. I actually forgot to change these. These are the things that happen sometimes in Minecraft or in life in general. Sometimes things are out of your hand, and that's exactly what happened here. So, you know what? I updated the blocks, and I made do with what I could. And so over the next coming videos, I'm going to be updating all of the builds that have cobblestone in them, like this, like that, like all of them, to this, so that way you can actually see the detail. And it's going to be a lot of work, but you know what? That's all right. That is something that happens sometimes in Minecraft. Sometimes you just have to get to the grind, but I'm going to stand here and do the lore reading while you all can admire the updated texture here. All right, here we go. Several years passed by for King Crud Stevens and Miss Lorcy. Eventually, they got married and had a few kids. Things were well with the Stevens family, and the kingdom of Cadwalladerwin reflected that as well. A time of peace and prosperity reigned for nearly 20 years. Crud Stevens was a good man and an even better king. So good of a king, in fact, it cost him everything. One morning, late in the years of the king, he looked out and spotted an army of ships surrounding the port. His heart sunk at the sight, for he knew what he had to do. He looked toward Lorcy without a word and gave her a kiss. She as well knew what this meant. The king embraced his kids as well, for they had grown into well-thought-of citizens in their own right at this point. A true reflection of a wonderful father, King Crud was. He slowly made his way out there toward a small boat filled with his guards. They paddled out toward the lead ship where King Crud and a few others made their way on board. Oh man, so interesting sort of I guess, leadway for the king, He got his girl finally, or rather she got him. But it looks like they sort of had a happily ever after for a long time, but, as with everything here in Cadwalladerwin, it's not always as it seems, and not all good things last. So we'll have to see what happens to poor Mr. Crud Stevens in the next episode. But hopefully you all enjoyed this video, the update on the castle keep here and the gym here in Cadwalladerwin. If you like this series, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you want